Alrighty, welcome to the Angel and Tina Morning Show. I am missing my co-host, Angel Tuccy. She is otherwise engaged. I'm Tina Torres, your host for today, and I have some fabulous new guests. I have my co-host and guest, Sal Harper, and the amazing Forbes Riley coming live from Tampa, Florida. Hey guys, how are you doing today? Oh, you're muted, Forbes. You are muted.
Oh, I know I'm muted. I was just giving you a hard time. I totally get that. Some days,
there you go.
I think my significant other wishes he could have a mute button some days. Just stop talking, girl.
Poor Joshua.
I know. So hey, everybody, you know what? I'm on fire. Yesterday was a very crappy day. I'm happy to acknowledge that I had one of those meltdowns all day yesterday. I just didn't feel like doing anything. It just felt, the world felt heavy and icky. That was yesterday. Today I'm back. And are you allowed to have
Today it
those
is
days?
a new day.
Yes. So I'm on fire. You know what?
How are you doing, Sal?
I'm well. I'm trying to get engaged here because I've been in deep thought and creating and doing a lot of stuff. So
it's a gal named Sal. Sal, is that your real name?
Sal, yes, Sal.
I love it. What are you deeply engaged in doing?
I am actually building out the back end of my website. I'm creating a course online. And so I've been really heavily engaged trying to do all the technical stuff.
There is nothing like girls in the morning talking about their back ends.
I love it. So what have you guys been doing during quarantine?
Wow, okay, that's a seriously loaded question. Sal, you want to go first, or should I go first?
My goodness. You know, I would love to say I've been doing nothing but watching TV and eating and just relaxing, but I've got 2 teenage boys in the house, so I'm homeschooling part-time. I'm still doing my coaching business, and I'm building course content. So
you're homeschooling. How is that? How is homeschooling? How is homeschooling? And
now Tina just had that very wicked laugh. Tina, how old are your kids right now?
See, my kids are out of the house.
Yeah, okay, so you don't get to laugh at us who have teenagers, and you don't get to laugh at us who have preschoolers. Yeah, no laughing, not fair.
I say all the time how horrible it is to be an empty nester. Right now, I'm loving being an empty nester.
Yeah. Sal, how old are your kids?
They are 14 and 16.
I lucked out. I have 2 17-year-olds. I think this happened at the exact right time. When your kids are 17, you go upstairs, you put a tray of food, you knock and you run away because they don't want to talk to mommy.
And you run away?
No, actually, my daughter is being very enterprising. One of the things that I think quarantine was very good for, after the first 2 weeks of cleaning every closet and thinking, wow,
yes,
this is amazing to have this much time.
Yes.
5 weeks later, the closets are back the way they were. That was kind of an interesting waste of time. But we're studying stock markets, and I'm created a course for somebody who does option trading. And my daughter at 17 is glommed onto this, so much so that she's on his radio show tomorrow.
Awesome.
So he's just thrilled that a 17-year-old wants to learn. And she asked me, she said, Mom, they're asking me, why do I want to know about stock markets? And I say, you simply say this, because algebra and chemistry make you no money in the long run.
Yeah.
And that's been interesting. And I don't know how you feel, Tina, your kids are older. Sal, your kids are just getting to that age. What is the value of college? Could we have done all of this homeschooling sooner and gotten, I know that kids spend a lot of time in school doing nothing. I was there. Could you have fast-tracked this a little bit? And then think about this, but why does our system want you to donate the best looking years of your life? From 17 to 21, your body is tight and hard, you look gorgeous, and all you get to do is run around and party with people at a college and spend about $100,000 to $200,000 to do that.
Yeah.
Was it better spent somewhere else? And I think the quarantine and all of this has raised a lot of questions for a lot of people. And Sal, I love that you're doing at-home work, and I'm sure you're teaching other people that creating at-home courses might be the wave of the future, right?
Yeah, it is. You have to learn how to pivot your business, and I'm taking all of my my one-on-one clients and my group coaching clients, and we're just doing these group calls on Zoom. And I actually wanted to connect with you, Riley, because I know that you got teenage kids, but there was a point in time when one of them, I think, was learning how to build funnels with
oh my God, my daughter makes more money than her high school teachers.
Right. And so that is the value for me. Here in Charlotte, we have so many moms that do homeschool, and I could never I just don't have the patience. But I do also understand that there are a lot of courses that you can bypass. There's a lot of time being wasted being in school. And a lot of the moms that I know who do homeschool have that patience. Their kids graduate at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right now,
Sal, if Tina, I don't mind to jump in, but I'm actually curious about all the people who are coaching now. Sal, what do you coach about?
I am an infidelity recovery specialist. So
you need to say that again. I've never heard that. You made my morning. Okay, very slowly and very loud for everyone around the world. What do you coach?
I am an infidelity recovery specialist.
Okay.
And right now, with everyone being locked up and locked down in quarantine, a lot of these women who have been through that infidelity, who had that discovery, you know, they're at wit's ends with their spouses being quarantined like this. You know, they're mix of emotions, the hurt, the love, the pain, not being able to get out, having to face those issues and those problems. So it's a very interesting time with a lot of people. I'm actually getting a flood of people in my support group right now.
I am sure.
I bet.
And so
that is probably one of the hardest things you can go through.
I actually cannot imagine. That was one of the things that I really thought about, and I'm angry about, that our government thinks it's okay every day to go on and show pictures of people dying and sick, but they didn't do that before Corona. And if you're a child of the world and you realize that one of my producers had his leg cut off because of diabetes before all this started, nobody seemed to notice that. Or all the people who have got high blood pressure or other heart disease who are dying every day, we didn't notice that. But every morning I can wake up and tell you exactly how many people died of COVID in what state. But what they're not talking about is two things that we're both specialists in. One, for me, it is about how to build your immune system, how to work out when you're stuck in your house, how to stay healthy, mindset and body. And the second, which really plagued me a lot, was if you're locked down with somebody you hate, or the fact that you can buy all the alcohol that you want, and all the kids, especially, because I do a training called Forbes Factor. I get a lot of people out of the things that held them back many years ago. Most of my clients have been touched, molested, or hurt when they were little. So my thought is, oh my God, these kids now can't go to school, can't get out of the house. They are stuck with the people who might in fact be hurting them, and nobody's looking at them. Or like you said, you're stuck in the house with the guy that you want to divorce, or you hate, or what do you do with that?
Yeah.
So my hat's off to you, because I don't think anyone's really paying attention to this problem.
Forbes, what do you suggest that people do if they're stuck at home? What do you suggest that people should do at home to keep their immune system up and stay healthy?
Okay, I'm going to get really serious. So 10 years ago, and I don't have any way to put my audience here, so I'm going to say goodbye to you guys because I can't hold you and do this at the same time. So I'm going to put you guys down there. You know, I was overweight most of my life. My mom was 260 pounds. I was a dancer and I still didn't understand food at all. Growing up in the 60s and 70s, we had fast food came in. That was when you have no money, oh my God. And I was always overweight, always bullied, always made to feel crappy about the body that I lived in. I was even on Broadway with Christopher Reeve doing a musical, and I had to go to Overeaters Anonymous. I don't talk about this very often, but I've got two women here. I'm going to share this. In my early 20s, I made a good amount of money. I actually got one of the first liposuction things on my thighs, and I almost died because it was a hack guy. I drove home the day that it happened. I was bleeding profusely. And at some point in my head, I was okay with dying. I was done with people picking on my body that I didn't seem to know how to change. And that was a massive revelation. I didn't die. And I think the universe, if you go through a lot, and I've been through a lot, and I'm sure both of you have, you either get to tell the stories or go away. Yeah. And so I tell the story that my mom wouldn't go to the health club. I got her to the front door of a health club, bought her a year-long membership, and she would not go in. And I'm like, you need to go in. She's like, I can't. I'm like, yes, you can. One foot in front of the other. And she said, look, I thought I could, but people in there know more. They're going to make fun of me. And she never went back. And so in my early 30s, I had this idea that about personal at-home fitness. And this is the biggest thing for all entrepreneurs. I can't tell you how I did a lot of what I do, but I've grossed $2.5 billion. All I did was set my intention that I wanted it, and those things showed up. In fact, Jack LaLanne showed up. I ended up co-hosting an infomercial with the godfather of fitness because I wanted to find the solution so bad. That first solution for me was about juicing. And I had 2 7-pound babies. I lost all of that weight and more. But the whole fitness thing. And so the universe was crazy. I introduced me to a gentleman who had something like this in London about 12 years ago. And I cashed in all my chips after I was on Home Shopping forever, selling other people's fitness products. I've sold elliptical bikes and trampoline. They're all great. Not one of them fits in my hand right now. Not one of them allows me to get a heart pumping, fat melting workout in my chair. And so I created a company called SpinGym and then went through hell. Was on a reality show where I was told to go home, it would never work. Got crucified by US Customs. I have a video where I spent 6 days stuck in customs trying to black out 44,000 mistakes on DVDs. It has been an entrepreneur's journey. And the only reason I can tell you that I went through all of this hell is that I get to share it so somebody else doesn't have to. Having said that though, these arms are the sexiest they've ever been. You literally do one song, 3 minutes, it will, unbelievable. And you want to take and punch out a Fidelity thing? Bam, honey, there, I got you right there. You can't get hurt because you're not actually punching it, but it feels good. It also works on your abs. Then this crazy thing that I invested my heart into, I had a marriage that didn't work out for whatever reason. And I just wanted to fall in love. I wanted to live this rest part of my life in the most amazing love way ever. And so I said to myself, what would that look like? And I looked at power couples. I looked at Cindy Crawford and Randy Gerber. I looked at Laird Hamilton and Gabrielle Reese. I looked at Tom Brady and Giselle. And I had those couples in my mind. And I thought, that's what I want. I want to be a power couple. And then one of my girlfriends said that her husband, she wished for a man who looked like he walked off the cover of a romance novel. Well, okay, I said to her out loud, I said, can I borrow that? I mean, that's kind of a bold statement at, 50 something to go, that's what I want. But it's what I wanted, right? And so I'm in Vegas doing a shoot, literally in a hotel room where you can't meet anybody, no Tinder, no bar. And I had this in my mind that a guy who would look like he walked off the cover of a romance novel would be my man. And this man, I'm trying to find his picture on Instagram, walked in the door to be my fitness model in Las Vegas. Can you guys see that?
Woo!
Body competitor.
And so this plus dreaming, did I get everything I wanted? And Tina and Sal, I'll tell you what, they're not expensive. You find them on Shop SpinGym. They come in every color because you literally put it at your desk, you anchor it. I've been teaching class every day at noon. Everybody loses weight. Everybody gets fit because this crazy thing is not a resistance band. It actually spins and it vibrates and it activates every muscle in your upper body just by doing this front and back. So one of the secrets is you gotta move. The government is completely wrong telling you to be in your house, no sunlight, no walking on the beach. And don't get me started, obviously I'm a good ranter, but I'm assuming that we're all gonna get this at some point, like we all get everything. And I appreciate that they wanted to slow the curve to keep the medical community, but they're killing people. And I think Sal and I are both, that's what your show is about, advocating for your body, your sanity, and locking people in their house. It had some really bad ramifications, aside from also keeping us from making money.
Yeah.
So the food that you eat, the thoughts that you think, and the way you move will be your best immunity to fight anything and everything that comes your way.
Wow. I love it. I love it. How long have you been doing this? Did you say 12 years?
SpinGym launched about 12 years ago. I took it on home shopping. That is my specialty. I've been on home shopping around the world for almost 30 years. And between infomercials and home shopping. And what I hadn't done though, is I hadn't really embraced the internet. I've had some very bad webmasters and whatever baloney I didn't know how to handle on this annoying little computer screen in front of us. And I hadn't really exploded the brand there. So for me, quarantine is about, wow, how do you embrace digital marketing? How do you understand your funnels? How do you handle your back end? There's a lot to do. And if you're over the age of 12 and didn't grow up with one of these attached to your hand, you have a little prejudice, and that's an interesting market for digital marketers to go after people over 50. Yep. If you can remember having a phone attached to a wall, you are not destined to really,
right?
It's just challenging. So I love all of it. I get people, and then I also have this. So this, the last thing I'll share with you, and that's not true. Are you kidding me? I can only keep talking if Sal doesn't jump in here. If I breathe. No, here's the last thing, and guys, you need to listen to this. Because I just turned 60. I am fitter than I was in high school.
Wait.
I know my driver's license is wrong. There's a picture of me in the attic just growing old.
Wait, you just turned 60?
Right?
What?
I was born in 1960. You know what? That's what it says on my license. I think my parents.
Good for you. And how old is your man?
Oh, you had to go there.
Is he 65?
He's 22. No, he's 42.
He's 22? Oh my God.
No. He actually, this is one of the issues because he looks so young. He's so fit. He looks like he's in his 20s. So yeah, we get interesting comments. He's actually 42. He's a father of two.
Oh, wow. He doesn't look like he's 42 either.
Well, let me tell you something. Here, is it a big secret to sell you not smoking, not drinking, things that deplete your cells? You know, I'm so obsessed with the fact that we're not sharing good information that you can go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and get fried chicken between 2 donuts as a sandwich. Let me tell you, this is what we should be talking about as a government, how not to kill ourselves with diabetes, overweight, all the things that come with cheap, crappy food. So the first thing that I did in this, because I never had my weight under control, I hate authority. I just defy it. If you tell me to go on a diet and eat tuna fish on Tuesday, the second that I can't find tuna fish and I ate a turkey sandwich, I cheated. I can now eat the entire cream pie. What wiring is in my head? But it comes from a mom who was 260 pounds. We had no money and we were grateful to eat. Everything was about food. So I did the one thing that changed my life and is going to change everybody listening. I changed the word diet. It is not about calories. It is not about starvation. It is simply D-I-E-T. Decisions I eat today. You want to look like Joshua? Don't ask me what Joshua eats. You know what he eats. You know he eats Brussels sprouts and rice and a little bit of chicken, and he eats it 16 times a day, and he never cheats. Never. You know, if you want to look like that, that's the decision that you make. If you want to look like my girlfriend who's 400 pounds, who loves her Captain Crunch at midnight and has diabetes and overweight and tells me she's very happy, then that's the decision that you make. But it's just make some decisions and don't do it tomorrow. Just do it today. If you want to look like me at this age, I'll give you that food plan. I'll tell you what I do and follow it. And the second thing you say, but I like to drink my wine, then go ahead, but don't bitch that you can't fit in your jeans. So I just want a reality check. I just want us to be sane. I cried so much. I wasted maybe 20 years of my precious life feeling overweight, outcast, just wanted to hurt somebody because like, why can't I figure this out? And it's because we don't teach people correctly. I think we lie to each other. We Photoshop pictures. And I don't think we're very nice to each other as women. So Tina, thank you for having the show. I love you and Angel very much. I think you guys girls are amazing.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
hopefully this just inspired somebody to say, wow, this woman looks this way, has this attitude, is living a happy life, but it did take her a little too long. Maybe I should listen to her.
Yeah. But I like the way that you brought that out, saying that do not do the diet. And if that's the way you want to feel, if that makes you happy, then do it. But if it's not making you happy, don't complain about it.
Well, and I think Sal and I can both go down this road too. What's the first thing you need to do that nobody ever asks most people, especially busy working moms? What do you want? Mm-hmm. And seriously to sit down and go, wow, what do I want? You know what's important for me? What's important for me is for you to tell me that I look good for 60 and for me to say, no, I actually look good for 45.
Totally, you do.
No, but that's important to me. If it wasn't important, I see a lot of very famous actresses who've let their bodies go and don't seem to care. Maybe that was never important to them. My need to be a role model for others who are suffering keeps me from eating donuts. Well, that's an interesting way to look at it. But when you shift and you own what you want, and then you know why you're doing it, and then you clean out the closet of things that don't let you do it. Here's my biggest one. I will challenge both of you and everyone listening to stand up and say the words, I am enough, mm-hmm. and mean it. Most women, most men, I coach a lot of people. I've been doing this too, Sal, for almost 15 years. Can't do that. Here's what they'll do. They're like, oh.
Words are the hardest things to say, that I am enough.
No, now let me ask you a question. Why would that be hard? Digging a ditch is hard. Why is it hard to say I'm enough?
I think a lot of women, and Sal, you can probably say it too, they're comparing themselves to everyone. And I think a lot of women, especially women and some men, have a hard time saying that they are enough.
Sal, what do you think?
That's absolutely true. And a lot of what you're saying is helpful and wonderful, especially making the decision to decide what you're going to eat a certain day. But you said something, a really key point that I think I'd like to go back and talk about, but it's thought, right? What goes on in our mind? What's in our head that is making us feel this way or do the things that we do? Now, I know just because of what I do that all of it has a root cause, which is stemmed from, the behaviors that you had learned as you were growing up. So with that, a person saying I am not enough, especially if they've been in any type of situation where they've been betrayed, not just with an infidelity, but if it's domestic violence, if it's a death of someone, they've been betrayed. When somebody dies on another person, you feel like they've been betrayed. You left me, you died, even though it's by chance. But then it just causes the person to start those spiral downward thoughts like, am I enough? Was I not pretty enough? Look at all these women on social media. And I think so many women, they get in that depressed state and they turn towards outlets like this, and all they see is just in their face, all of the photoshopped women. So for women to say I am enough, it's very difficult to say, because they have to have a sense of value within themselves, which they don't. It's been eaten away with little remarks, little things that they see on the outside, the influences that we have, that we see every day. So that's the biggest reason why people have a hard time saying I am enough, because we don't feel that we are enough. And they don't take enough time to recognize everything that they have done. Just being a mom in itself is a feat. I, for one, hate to admit the fact that I never wanted to be a mom, right? And with Mother's Day being this weekend, I celebrate it now, because there are so many women who are less fortunate who can't. Tina, I know from talking to you, there are women out there that want to have children and miscarry. What is that saying about their body to reject another life form? And for me, becoming a mom was a calling. It's not something that I embraced wholeheartedly, and it's not something that I want, but I see now that it was a calling.
Yeah.
So we do the best that we can, and we look at other people, even myself. I look and compare myself, like, I wish I was that, Susie homemaker, making my kids all the wonderful little desserts and packing the lunches with the little notes in them. That's not me. But now I can look back and say, but I did so many great things.
That was me.
That was you. I know that was you. We've had these conversations and showering your children with gifts. And
Well, but so Sal, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, because I'm a big guilt buster. I refuse to. I have no desire to be Susie Homemaker, and I'll tell you why, because I suck at it. But I decided to redefine a lot of words, and I defined the word mom because I think this makes it's really, really important to do that. So for me, MOM, because as soon as I became a mom, you're like, oh, mom, can I have this? Mom, can you wipe my butt? Mom, I was like, really? I wanted this? Then I said, wait a second, let's define it to be moments of memories. Mm-hmm. Now listen to this. What's interesting is, think about your mom. At my age, I can only remember some things, very little things. I don't actually remember if she made every single one of my dance recitals. I don't remember the time when we fought. I know we did. I don't remember that. But I do remember her coming to my graduation, her coming to my play. I remember moments. Mm-hmm. And so I think if you carve out moments with your kids, knowing that that's the future, that's all they're going to remember, like that one birthday party, or that you be there for that, then don't worry about the little things they're not there for. You will be a lot happier. Nobody remembers the Susie Homemaker part, trust me. Oh, mom made lunch for me every day. But they do remember that one time when mom did it, and it was extraordinary, right?
And something that I have created in my household was those moments too. Like every Friday, it's family night. Boom, just like this. We get an opportunity to eat out. They pick something. We do dinner and a movie. Sundays, we have pancake Sundays before we go to church, right? We make those pancakes. I want those memories for the kids to remember, because they're not going to remember all the little things.
Right, but think about how smart what you just did was, because if you just need, I know this sounds calculated, but if you need Friday night and Sunday, that means Monday through Thursday, you could work, you could do the 2 jobs if you have to, but stop feeling guilty that you're not there, because all they're going to remember is, wow, Friday nights and Sunday.
Right.
My daughter calls me one day, she's 8 years old, I'm at a convention, mom travels, she works, right? Like a lot of, I'm sure your listeners do. And she gets on the phone, there's a whole bunch of, we're still phone booths, and she says, Mom, do you still love me? I'm like, oh God. My immediate instinct was to do the guilt thing, was to go, oh, of course, baby. And I can hear all the other moms do that. And I refused. I said, McKenna, did the sun come up today? She said, yes, mommy. I said, you need to know that every day that sun comes up, your mommy loves you. The next day, I get on the phone. She's like, Mom, guess what? I'm like, what? She's like, the sun comes up. Aww. You do those little tiny tweaks. Yeah. Because ladies, stop feeling this guilt. You are never going to be everything, nor should you be.
Yeah.
But I love that Sal has those two things. Tina, what do you remember about your mom?
A lot. Our whole family revolved around food too. So she always entertained. And I think I took that on because I was an entertainer. So we always threw big birthday parties, and we entertained a lot. We made a lot of food. And that's
And
just,
then what's the thing that you think your kids will remember about you most?
yeah. So that, I mean, that's another thing. Every time they come home, Mom, can you make this, this, and this? They have those specialty dinners. You know, Mom, can you make this? Mom, you know, nobody makes it like Mom does.
It's
Good.
nostalgic.
Yeah.
That's what they take with them and carry on, right? We
And in
create
fact,
those
with
rituals.
Easter just being here, my kids still to this day get Easter baskets. So this year on Easter, of course, I couldn't get them Easter baskets. So all of them texted me and said, hello, you didn't give me Easter baskets. Now, granted, they're 19. My 19-year-old is in Korea in the Army. My 21-year-old is in Chicago. My 26-year-old is in Atlanta. They all called me, Mom, where's my Easter basket?
There you go. But doesn't that give you a sense of freedom now that you say, okay, I did that. That was my job.
Yeah.
Now I can go and work or enjoy a romance or do other things.
Exactly.
But I think too many women are stuck just feeling guilty. Like you said, Sal, I wasn't. Don't let that go.
Yeah.
Create what you want and move ahead. And I also think that women need to have a sense of amazing pride about what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, and I think both of you get to step up to the plate as well. How many male role models are out there, motivational speakers? You can hear a Tony Robbins or a Grant Cardone or a Gary. How many women are doing that at that level? Not enough. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. Not enough.
It really isn't enough. With that being said, I'm going to actually do Sal's bio because I know you guys all want to hear who she is. So if you have ever experienced infidelity in a relationship, you know how painful and excruciating it can be. This type of discovery can impact self-esteem, self-confidence, and even put you in a deep state of depression. With technology at our fingertips, the ease of accessing pornography and hookup sites like Tinder, Fling, and Ashley Madison, which I've never heard, are putting marriages at high risk for affairs. So my guest and co-host today is an infidelity recovery specialist who assists women who have experienced betrayal due to porn and sexual addictions. She teaches women how to overcome pain of infidelity with a very unique approach. Her program is helping women rise out of being stuck to regain confidence, a sense of self-worth, and finding the strength to move on. I love that. I love that.
Thank you, Tina. It's interesting because you asked me when I get on the show to see the other side of me, right? The less serious side of me.
The fun side.
The fun side of me.
Side that I get to see.
Because this is such a serious topic and it's difficult to be on anybody's show and not address or be empathetic of the pain that people are going through when they're in this situation. But you know, my biggest saying is we learn through laughter. When we have experienced something like this, it's wonderful to be able to laugh again. And we get away from that. We stay stuck in the pain. We stay stuck in those thoughts that Forbes is talking about, you know, and we downward spiral and we get in these states of depression that we just can't get out of. Yeah. It's very difficult. So
what do you think that women tend not to and they stay stuck and tend not to get into that moment of feeling laughter and feeling joy and happiness again?
It's so hard. It is so hard because you can't experience two feelings at the same time. You can't be sad and laugh. It's just not possible. I always, tell you, your thoughts cannot occupy the same space, just like anything else. This is just scientific. And what's really interesting is my unique approach. There's a lot of wonderful therapists out there. And granted, I went through it myself. So this is the reason why I can teach this. But the way I was able to overcome my hurt, my betrayal, my healing process was very systematic. It was almost sub-level. And I don't want to go too deep, but as Forbes mentioned earlier, we have to think about those deep-rooted experiences that we've had that is causing our current situation. Because I am a firm believer, no matter what, that we are a manifestation of our past thoughts. Now, that not saying that we asked for this, and I'm not saying that our past experiences created a situation where we put ourselves, set ourselves up for infidelity or anything like that. But remember, it takes two. There's two people in a relationship. So it's a culmination of the past hurts that he has experienced. For whatever reason, he is turning towards pornography and infidelity, having an affair with somebody else. And it's a culmination of her experience by accepting those behavior or overlooking the red flags, the little signs that you see, like always carrying your phone or keeping it on silent or hiding it or walking out of the room to take a phone call. I mean, the list is endless. But I want women to walk away with one thing, knowing that whatever has happened in the relationship, whether your husband has one affair or multiple affairs, or he has a porn addiction, I don't want the women to feel like it's their fault, because that is the first thing, the first conclusion that we jump to. We jump to is, what did I do? What was I not fulfilling? And honestly, it has nothing to do with the wife. It has absolutely nothing to do with what she is or is not doing. And it has everything to do with the pain and the hurt or the past experiences that the husband has gone through in childhood.
Wow.
So do you think that, it's funny, I was talking to somebody about the extensive therapy you need to go to when you try to get divorced in this country, but that does not exist to try to get married. You can go down to a church and just get married. So it's almost like there needs to be some sort of screener that allows you to understand what you're liable to be doing. Because you're right, people come to relationships very hurt, very covered up. However, are there two sides to that too? Because I personally have a feeling that marriage has an expiration date. I don't know. I just think people grow apart. I think we almost should congratulate you if you get divorced. Because imagine if you thought about it differently. If you said, wow, congratulations, you got married. Here's all these gifts. We love you. You went through 1 year, 10 years, 25 years with a person, built a life, and now you want something different. Should that be the worst thing in the world? And we're made to feel like it is. At some point, you look at your partner and go, you know what? That was good in my 20s. I'm in my 40s. You just don't do it for me. Or you have no drive. What am I supposed to do? And I think we're lacking a bit of education and open dialogue that says, yay, congratulations, you got divorced. You're going to move on. You should enjoy your new life. You should enjoy your new life, but you should celebrate what you did create and the good parts. Yes. And you should also do that before it festers and becomes something so ugly that you both hate
toxic.
each other.
Forbes, that is such a great way of putting it. I love the way you say that, because there is, for me especially, there was such a stigma.
All three of us have been divorced.
No, actually, I'm not. I'm 25 years, and believe me, my fiance is, then this is public knowledge, I guess, because you can find it on the internet. I'm not. And that is because I have a habit. I'm a hoarder. I hold on to people. I had some tragic stuff happen to me in my life. And I have no family. And so for some reason, he and I were business partners. We don't live together, haven't lived together for 15 years. We raised children. And the big thing for us is this next year, the kids are finally leaving. We will have to do this. But apparently we both, Barry Diller and Diane von Furstenberg, and she was gay, he was gay, and they were married. I don't know. But my beautiful man now is like, Forbes, really? And I'm like, yes. So my hat's off to the both of you. And that's actually why I'm saying it. And I'm an advocate for people who stay too long at the party for whatever reason. So I'm in a very different situation. I don't know. I don't know many people who are stuck like they're going, really, Forbes? Could you just grow up?
But what you say, Forbes, is so true. Because there's such a stigma tied to divorce, I did not want to get divorced. And my husband was at a point, we've been together 21 years and we did just grow apart. There are certain things that he really loved and enjoyed and didn't care for some of the things that I love and enjoy. I'm an avid reader. I don't like to leave my home, and he was out and about. He traveled all the time. He had a really fast-paced life, and I'm a really slow-paced kind of a person. So when I finally realized what that concept that you were saying, Forbes, is to embrace the divorce, that you grow apart, it's okay. Then it was okay. Then I was able to take the good out of our marriage, you know, the wonderful children that we created, and then really kind of like leave the past behind, leave all of the junk behind, and look forward to building something beautiful for the future. Now
I'm wired so weird that my very first 2 boyfriends in life actually came to my wedding. So I have a tough time letting people go.
Yeah.
If I've loved you once, I will always love you. I don't know. But you know, I will tell you that you do need
you
to move
can
on.
turn off love. I mean, I think you're going to always have a special place for those people. You're just moving on.
So Tina, have you guys both moved on? Are you in your next relationships?
I am not. I'm single.
Okay.
But you know, trying to get out there and date, but I'm so busy. I'm so busy right now, you know, but you know, whatever. If God has somebody out there for me, definitely I'm open.
Well, okay, so Tina, and okay, I'm going to share something with you about manifestation. I've gotten some things wrong, and by the way, the coach.
With this morning show, I've been getting a lot of marriage proposals, though.
Well, okay, that's actually kind of interesting. You're definitely out there. Here's what I had to shift. I had gotten so angry about whatever that I think that happens at the end of a relationship. Then someone called me on the phone and said, Forbes, you're not showing enough love in your work. And I was like, what are you talking about? Everybody loves me. I love everybody. And when I realized that I'd gotten very angry and that was permeating everything I was doing. And I had to stop in my tracks, and I'm in my 50s, and say, what would it look like if I actually got to the point in a relationship with an amazing man that I did want to marry? And then I laughed for an hour because I was really bitter. I didn't realize how bitter and angry I was. And then I literally sat on the beach and said, all right, let's dust off this idea that you deserve to be so freaking happy and have this beautiful wedding and have this gorgeous relationship for the rest of your life. You deserve that. And I have to say, it was a real come to Jesus conversation with myself going, oh my God, I was like waiting for this to just magically show up. No, I'm going to write down, what do I want? I deserve a man who is loving, who rolls over in the morning and looks at my face with mascara down at my hair frizzy, my breath sting going, you're so beautiful.
Give me the kiss.
But I do have that. I found this guy who, when we first finally on our first real date, looked at me and said, you know what? You need me.
What? I don't need nobody.
No, actually, what he meant was, and by the way, he looked like an Adonis who stepped out of a Chippendales ad, that I'm thinking, I'm just grateful that you're hanging out with me. But what he said was, I've been through a lot in my life. I think you're an amazing woman, and I think that we need each other, and that we could form a beautiful relationship. No one ever, I'm like, I heard that in my head in some fantasy conversation that I wrote on a piece of paper. And when he said it, and the way he held me, and the way he still looks at me, makes me feel so freaking beautiful and loved that I think everyone should deserve that. But I wanted that. So yes. Tina, do me a favor. Don't just go, well, God will give me what. No, I want you to actually write down and say, wow, the man of my dreams looks like this, makes me feel like that, treats me this way, and really make the universe deliver what you want, not some guy who just offers you a marriage proposal because you're gorgeous.
It's fun. Well, thank you. But it's funny you say that, because I do have my perfect mate written down. I have.
Who taught you that?
Oh, go, Sal, go, girl.
Well, you bring up a really great point, because a lot of women that do come into counseling, they are divorced, they are looking to heal, and they do want another relationship. But their fear of moving forward is they're going to get into another toxic relationship. So I do an exercise called the Perfect Mate exercise, where we do just what you said, Forbes. We list those physical traits, those qualities in a man that we are looking for, and the deal breakers, right? If my next person, my next relationship, I do want him to have children, because there is just something very special when you become a parent, that a single person just isn't able to understand that deep sense of love when you're able to give
unconditional love.
Unconditional love. And so there are certain deal breakers, like I would like to have a man who has had children, but I don't want to raise another set of children. I started late. I started at almost 40 to have children myself.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait a second. Excuse me. No. I just right out of college. I mean,
because didn't you just have a birthday party that said you were 36?
36, baby. I would be 36 forever.
had my
It's just
babies
a
at
number.
42, okay?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. So we're not that far apart with raising our children. So I don't want to do it again when I'm 60 years old.
Well, but do me a favor, in my own training, Sal, I hear what you're saying. There's a little bit of apology about that. So here's what I would have you restate to the universe. I'm very clear. He's got kids who've graduated high school.
Yes.
Because I don't want to raise other children, but it's funny because the way in which you're saying it, I would own it just a bit more. There's no apology necessary.
Right.
I've gotten to a certain level. That's exactly what I got with Joshua. His kids are older, his teenage daughter, an older son. Perfect. So I would just say it differently. And Tina,
Yes.
you need to hear this too, and every woman listening. One of the things, and I call it the Grubhub principle. Hey, Grubhub, yes, ma'am, what do you want? I would like Chinese food. No, I had Chinese yesterday. Maybe I want a hamburger. Ma'am, call us back when you know what you want, and they hang up. Or what I'm asking you to do is, hey, Grubhub, yes, ma'am, I would like a Caesar salad, extra chicken, croutons on the side. 20 minutes later, at your door is
That's
a
exactly
Caesar salad, extra chicken. How did they know? Because I said it with conviction. I didn't say, maybe I want I'm going to tell you what I want. And I think that goes back to that I am enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a certain point in my life. There's 7 billion people out there. I want you to narrow down 1/10 of 1% of 100. There's one guy I'm looking for, just one. Here's what he looks like. Here's what he does. Here's what his interests are.
Did you ask the universe for your man with abs?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Girlfriend, no joke. My ex he was a former football player, but he's big, and he always used to joke around, I'm the before photo. You know what I have now? The after photo.
The after photo.
Forbes, what are you doing? What are you doing? What's coming up in your world?
All right. So I think the biggest thing, number one, everybody just needs to get a SpinGym. We are blowing this up for companies.
I can't wait to get mine.
Yeah. You will be doing it while you're on a show, while you're on a break. Every company, every person who's got a computer needs a SpinGym sitting at their desk. So to go from 2 million sales to 22 million sales. And the second thing is, and everybody here can go to free gift from Forbes Riley. I am a conduit to people living their dreams. I'm a conduit for people who have no desire, no idea what they want to do, to experts, because I have made a living pitching. I'm on Home Shopping. On Home Shopping, you have to sell between $2,000 and $5,000 a minute of whatever product you're talking about. So having this conversation, this level of understanding your message, your whys, your whats, who you are, and getting it out there to the world, and teaching this pitch concept is what I'm doing. So I've got a course coming out. Like I said, enroll for a free gift and find out how I can take you and leverage you. That's what I've done my whole life. I didn't own any of the movies I acted in, or the TV series, or this podcast. You do. You did all the work. All I have to do is show up with the right messaging, get your audience excited, and enroll them into their own greatness, and you make money. So that's what I'm teaching people to do for free.
I love it. And you're part of the Assets Are Sexy.
All right, so on the 15th, yes, my ass is so sexy. My assets are, do you know?
We had Sharon Lecter on the show yesterday, and she told everybody about the Assets Are Sexy summit that's coming up next Friday on the 15th, and you are one of the keynotes.
Do you know what's so funny? All I wanted in life was what I wanted. It was just my birthday, and I sat down and I kept all these journals. I started going through them, and apparently I've always asked for what I'm living now. And part of that was famous people. My mom dreamed of like meeting movie stars. So I had all these pictures of people that are now my friends, including the great Sharon Lecter. How did I get to be a woman who can call her on the phone? And it's because I wanted it. I wanted to elevate who I was. I didn't like where I came from, and I kept dreaming. And the biggest thing that you guys can do out there is to dream bigger. Dream bigger and believe that you deserve it, and watch how it happens. And Sal, I don't know if that's been your experience too, but most of us, and I played very, very small, were afraid. I was afraid that people were going to find out that I was a fake. I know that sounds funny, right? After all that I've done, you've got to find enough mentors and coaching and seminars and training to get over your own bullshit.
Yes.
They let you take 2 baggages on the plane. Please don't bring the entire house with you. And that's what coaches and trainers, they're all out there now. Your job, I think, is to find the ones that help you the best so that you can live your greatest life.
I
The
love
ones
that.
who resonate with the most. Yes.
Yeah. Sal, what
absolutely.
about you? How can people get a hold of you?
They can visit my website at salharper.com. I offer a free gift for those that are experiencing infidelity, because we are all triggered. It doesn't matter what stage of infidelity that you are in, whether it's a recent discovery or it's been a year or two or even 10 years. Women still hold on to emotional triggers. They're always going to be triggered by a name or a place or a smell or something. So I offer a free gift called 10 ways to eliminate emotional triggers. And within that, I also have a calendar on there. People want to schedule a free 20-minute consult. If they're going through a situation, they're not really sure, what direction to go, because when we are impacted so suddenly with this kind of a discovery, we don't know what to do. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I kick them out? Should we work it out? Should we go to therapy? There's so many questions that rise up when you discover this. So I offer a free 20-minute consult and a free gift to eliminate those emotional triggers.
Awesome. And what kind of things do you have coming up? What are you working on?
Well, like I said, I'm pivoting my business. I have really just been staying local with my one-on-one coaching and support groups, but I've been encouraged to reach the masses, because the feedback that I've been getting from my clients is that my approach is so unique. That, like I said, there are so many wonderful therapists out there, and I wholeheartedly believe that you do need a mentor. You need a coach, somebody that's going to be clear-minded to help you create a path that's straight and clear. But because I have a very systematic approach to the way I help people in their healing journey, I'm actually taking it online. I am leveraging technology, and I'm creating a program that everyone can go through in the comfort of their own home. Because so many women are still either suffering in silence, they don't know who to turn to, they're afraid because they are ashamed and they feel guilty about what has happened in their relationship. They take on all the responsibility. They feel like it's a reflection, their husband's behavior is a reflection of themselves. So they tend to keep it to themselves. So my course is going to offer women to be able to go through it privately and be able to connect with other women when they want to, with my Facebook group too.
Oh, I love that. And then Forbes, what about, you said you had a course coming out too, right?
I do. The best thing you can do is just find me on social media right now. I'm still doing all my own social media. So whether it's on Instagram or Facebook, I now have 2 million fans or followers on my Facebook page. And I'm going to share with you again, why don't you leverage who and what you are? So come onto the Facebook page and say hi. I just put a thing out yesterday, post your Instagram handle so people can get in touch with you. I don't think we use the obvious.
Yeah.
So I am really making, as we pivot into this new exciting life, I will tell you it's the coolest time ever, because otherwise life was just going along. I felt like a hamster on a wheel. Take the time to go, wow, what is it that I want? How can I do new? And stay connected to people. That's how you and I reached out.
Yes. And I always have taught to build those relationships, because relationships are key to any business.
And I'll just throw out one more thing.
Sell.
Right.
Build that relationship.
It's funny because you guys all looked at Joshua, who's got this amazing, perfect body and perfect whatever. Well, January 2nd of this year, he was in a very bad motorcycle accident. And what you guys don't know is that he has not walked for the last 18 weeks. And so that particular guy that you saw has gone through hell and back. And part of what he's now getting to experience is, what is it like to recover from something? And he's discovered or rediscovered his art of 3D graphic arts and video production and things that he can do sitting down. And I will tell you, we're all going through things. So even though you might look at it and go, wow, yay for them, never wish that you were in somebody else's shoes, because you really don't know the truth. And hopefully what we'll see from him is, what does it take for a champion to recover from probably the worst moment of his life?
Well, thank goodness he has somebody like you to help him. And I know you and I have had this discussion before about Joshua, and I'm so grateful that you are there with him to help him through this. And he's going to get better. He's still that champion, Joshua.
Let me tell you something. He can hear you over there. He's taught me a lot. And this is what you guys all need to hear in life, that you're the sum of the obstacles you overcome. So whether in Sal's case, somebody's cheated on you or you cheated on them, or however that went, whatever it is that you go through, don't let your pain go wasted. Yeah. Go through it and then talk about it or write about it or share with other people. That's how Sal got her career. That's why Tina and I are here, because we've all gone through things that we think you need to hear. So it's not all perfect and roses for anybody.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And that's why Angel and I decided to do the Angel and Tina morning show, to bring you that bright start to the day. We're here every weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we hope we brought you a bright start to the day. I'm Tina Torres, the client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist, where I teach you how to create loyal clients for a lifetime. Turn those clients into raving fans and increase your cash flow in 7 easy steps. And you can get that by texting the word connection to 26786, connection to 26786, and you can get your 7 ways to increase your cash flow right now. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Sal and Forbes, for being my guest and my co-host today. I appreciate you. Angel and I will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we hope you guys have a fabulous day. Bye, guys.
Thanks. We'll see you.